So we bought a landscaping company, and I want to go over some of the pitfalls and some of the benefits that came from that, so that if you are looking to do the same thing, you have some insider knowledge. My name is Jose Pio. I do business financing. I help companies to grow either through mergers and acquisitions or using other people's money to leverage it and grow even further. I want to dive deep into what happened once we bought the business. What happened that we had to overcome, the hurdles we had to overcome in order to build it up even greater than next year. In other videos, we're going to go into maybe the financing part of it. But for those of you who are in landscaping currently and looking to grow your business, or you're looking to get into landscaping and you don't want to do that year by year grind where you're putting money into marketing and all that, I can help you with just buying out the business. And it really is not hard. It really is not hard. A lot of people hear that and they think these big, financial movies where you got to spend millions of dollars to buy a business. It really is not like that for the most part. But what we did have to go through is we had to analyze the business in terms of the equipment, the employees, and the customers. What equipment's coming with it and what's the value of that equipment? Is it worth it to us to take that equipment on and use as backup, or sell it off, or just not even include it in the sale? You can keep your equipment, you sell your equipment, we've got enough over here. With the amount of business that we were taking on, going from, I believe it was 12 commercial accounts to now over 100 residential accounts, we wanted to keep that equipment in order to make sure we had backups. Also, it came with 2 older, smaller trucks, which are really good for the driveways that we have here in Rochester, New York, and making sure that we can get into the tighter spaces that many of these driveways have. So the equipment that came with it was really good, a little bit older, but they were workhorse trucks. Chevy Silverado, Z71. These are really good plowing trucks, really good hauling equipment trucks, and small enough to be used for residential purposes and to learn that side of the business as well, because none of our employees knew how to plow. So it was a learning curve for us. It would snow 1 inch and we go out there plowing. The benefit to last year is, if you know Rochester, Buffalo got hit hard. We're talking like 9 feet of snow 2 different times. We didn't get anything. We got maybe 3 days worth of actual plowing snow, and really that was pushing it. So even if it snowed 1-2 inches, we were out there teaching, going with our employees, making sure they were learning how to actually plow correctly, so that when we came to this year and we would expand into commercial plowing, we had a good underlying basis of how to operate a plow, right? The second thing was the employees. How many employees are coming with it, if any? Now, the issue that we had was literally the week that we're closing on the business, 2 employees quit while they're doing the fall cleanups. Just quit because they were tired of the previous owner, tired of his attitude, tired of whatever it may be, up and quit. So the business that we were purchasing that was supposed to come with 2 employees was coming with none. That was a hurdle overcome, yet we had employees in the commercial business that we really were not using to our full advantage. And also in the wintertime, they were going on unemployment because there's no landscaping to do. So we were able to keep them on and give them actually more hours. So that actually ended up working out. We got a couple more employees this year in terms of the summertime. That was hit or miss. That really was hit or miss. Anyone out there in the landscaping world, or any business or any enterprise where you have labor intensive work, you know how hard it is to keep good employees. And the third part was the customers. We had over 100 customer lists that came with it who were, I wouldn't say guaranteed, but they had already been paying for years. We ended up losing about 25% of them for different reasons. First reason, they didn't know who the hell we were. We were, new kids on the block. We had no marketing, no branding. They didn't know who the heck we are. Our commercial side, we really didn't have to do any of that because we were in a great niche. Well, my buddy was in a great niche, and he made already a good name for himself in that niche. So the word of mouth was just rolling, and we were fine with that. That's great. Now we have an elderly clientele, because a lot of the customers, we didn't realize this when we were going through a list, because why would we think to ask how old the clientele are. They were old. A lot of them were old. I'm talking within a few months of us buying the business, a couple of them freaking died. That's how old they were. Not only that, the system that was in place at that point was he would go through each person who was paying monthly, because the business, the way it's set up, we actually still kept that going because it's a good competitive advantage. We would have them pay monthly, and we would only do that for customers who were getting the full gamut, the year-round grounds gamut of services. So if you're getting plowing, you're getting the landscaping, and you're getting fall cleanup, spring cleanup, whatever it may be, we can put you into a monthly contract where you're spending, let's say $150, $250 per month, but you get all your service taken care of for the whole year. He was literally taking each address, writing down what that person owed, sending it to them in a address envelope with another stamped and addressed envelope inside of it, saying, here's your bill, send me a check. It was, we did that maybe for a couple of months. And after that, it was just obscenely over laborious. It didn't need to be that way. So we had to go to a point where we were auto deducting from people's accounts. It is the way that businesses have done nowadays, especially when you're in a subscription-based business. You automatically know every month $250 is coming out of your account on the 15th of every month because you're getting this service. We didn't want to have to do the check thing anymore. So what we ended up doing was going to our bank, going to a couple of banks saying, this is what we're looking to do. Our bank was over $100 per month for that service. Another bank was like $30 per month. Drastic difference. So we ended up, $30 a month. That's $1 a day that I don't have to go through, or our back end person doesn't have to go through and manually put in and send it out. No, that well worth it. So we ended up doing that, and we let people know you do have the option. If you set this up, it's your payment. If you don't want this set up, it's an extra $5 per month. We're gonna send out the bill in the mail with a self-addressed stamp envelope. You're gonna have to send it back to us. It's a whole issue. So you're gonna have to pay an extra $5 per month. We had a couple people still do that. A lot of people didn't like that at all and just dropped out. We made up for that though. We made up for that very easily. I'm gonna go into that real quick. 2 different ways. Nextdoor app, very good for this type of business. Very good for this type of business. Better than Facebook. Why? Because you can actually target zip codes. With Facebook, you post on there and you let people know, hey, we're doing landscaping in this area. You get a bunch of friends and family who want your service, who want to, support you, but they may not be in a very close-knit group of where your current customers are. And that's really the big thing with this business, is not just getting anyone and everyone. It's how little you need to travel in order to get from one customer to the next, especially when it comes to plowing. So that's a big thing right there. The second thing, like I said, the Facebook, Instagram, the regular social media stuff, but Nextdoor killed it, absolutely killed it. You can do your own neighborhood, and you can also promote in specific zip codes, which is really good. Third thing about that though, do not get sucked into these third-party software systems. They're great for if you are starting off and you are fresh. You just decided to go get a lawnmower and you just plop into the back of your truck and you're willing to take on any business to make any money. Great. Plows and Mows, however you want to pronounce it, is great for you. But for a company like ours, where we have dozens of employees, we can't go 15 miles down the road out of the way to trim bushes for $30. It's just not worth it to us. But if you're, the standard solo entrepreneur, solo operator management of your own company, that probably works for you. It's really good to start off. Make sure you capitalize by taking that customer's information. That way they don't go through that software anymore. They go directly through you. So Plows and Miles doesn't get their cut. Sorry, Plows and Miles, but I'm here for the business owners. The last thing I want to get into, you have to have a system in place. That one system we talked about with the auto deduction, that needed to happen in order to get your business from the standard Excel, going about it, where you're in the business, working in it daily in the grind, to becoming an actual business owner, to the point where in the future, if maybe your children don't want to take the business over because they hated seeing what you had to go through, you can actually sell the business off at a good multiple. You have to have systems in place. So that auto deduct was amazing because it saved both time and energy, which any person that's looking to purchase your business wants to do. Second thing about software, I know a lot of landscapers talk about Jobber. We tried it. It just didn't work for us because we had, I don't know how it works for everyone else, but when you have multiple routes for plowing specifically, it just doesn't work. You can't, they have the functionality where it will plot out the route for you in the best, most advantageous way, but you can't tell it that you have two different routes. So it'll plot out the entire route. Really annoying. I actually had a call with Jobber and went through it with them, and they just didn't have that functionality at all. So what we did was we still went with Jobber because Jobber is really good for tracking what services each customer has, how much they pay per month, being able to send them a digital copy of the receipt, or being able to, set up this neighbor over here saw me doing this work and asked me for, to price out his lawn or price out his driveway, whatever it was. Our employees can do it right on the go, right through the app. Really good for that. What we ended up doing with the plotting of the route, we ended up going with Road Warrior. So we doubled the Jobber. We got that. We still pay for that every month. And we have Road Warrior to plot out the routes for our plowing, as well as if we have multiple people going out for the landscaping or the fall cleanups or spring cleanups. It allows us to plot out those routes pretty effectively. So the thing about this is buying the business was well worth it, given the hurdles that we had to overcome. They are short-term hurdles. We went through it the first year, and we don't have to go through those same hurdles again. We fixed it with the software systems in place, with the auto deduct systems in place. Our customers are pretty locked in because they're in a consistent monthly payment. They know exactly what they're paying. So our systems in place have given us an advantage over other businesses, especially in, let's say 10, 15, 20 years when we're looking to possibly sell the business or, leave it to whoever is next. Very easy for someone to buy it. Very easy for someone to buy it, because if a business is reliant on the solo entrepreneur who runs the business, you're going to get less money for it because no one wants to buy a job. They want to buy something that a manager could just take over and run it themselves. And that's essentially what we did as well. I told my business partner, look, dude, I need to get you out of the business and start working on it as opposed to in it. We need to put someone in place who's a manager who can manage a lot of the day-to-day, so that takes it off of your shoulders and you can now focus on growing the business. That's still a hurdle that we're working on, but it's gotten a lot better. It has gotten a lot better, and I'm really proud of them. So this business is growing very rapidly. It's amazing to see how well we're doing in terms of what we're able to accomplish in such a short time. And that first year, getting everything all set up, there's going to be some costs associated with it. There's going to be some investments associated with it. But in the next 2 years, man, it's going to skyrocket. It's going to propel us so far forward. It's going to be amazing to see that happening. So if you had any further questions, we're going to be posting some videos. I'm going to get my business partner in on it. I've got some other businesses that we can probably discuss as well. So follow us, make sure you subscribe. We're going to go over some other things. This is just a preliminary introduction to what we had to go through. We're going to go over through a couple more things regarding landscaping businesses, so that if you're looking to grow yours or start in it, hopefully you learn something from us as we learned it ourselves in the past couple years as well. Have a blessed day.